If you have watched the Kraven the Hunter movie or seen any reactions to it, then you know that the Kraven we were given in the movie was not the character anyone expected. In this movie, Sergei, also known as Kraven, is an anti-hero that hunts down criminals and does not seem interested in hunting down and killing animals to prove that he is the greatest hunter. While it seems like Sony was not willing to give us a movie with a complete villain as the protagonist, they did give us an accurate representation of Kraven the Hunter in this movie. It was not Kraven, it was his father. While Kraven the Hunter in this movie is portrayed as an anti-hero, attempting to carve out a morally upright path by hunting criminals, it is his father who aligns most closely with the traditional depiction of Kraven the Hunter.
Fear will eat you. It makes you weak.
Your mother is dead. She took on life. She was weak.
Because if you show weakness to enemies, it gives them an opening. Never fear death. They are prey. We are predators.
Through Nikolai, the father of Sergei, this movie introduces an authentic reflection of the character's iconic traits that are often celebrated in the comics, while his son becomes his opposite. The father's mindset echoes the essential qualities of Kraven the Hunter in the comics. Nikolai is a hunter who sees animals and people as trophies to be pursued, killed, and collected. His belief in the predator-prey dynamic, viewing life as a constant struggle for dominance, mirrors Kraven's notorious ideology. In the comics, Kraven is the epitome of a hunter, one who views himself as the greatest of them all. He seeks to prove his superiority over both animals and heroes alike, driven by the desire to conquer what others cannot. This is clearly mirrored in Nikolai's actions and philosophy, from his manipulation of his sons to the violent hunting of animals to teach his children a lesson about power and control.
Men should be only animal that is dreaded.
Why do you hunt, Nikolai?
Men who kill legend becomes legend. Dmitri, don't look so weak. Be a man.
Nikolai's belief in the natural order of predator versus prey and his need to assert his dominance over those around him firmly root him in the portrayal of Kraven the Hunter as we know it from the comics. Any quote that you can think of that deals with survival of the fittest and predator-prey relations was more or less repeated by this character in the movie. Every scene that he was in, Nikolai would constantly talk about being a hunter and being strong. The mindset of this character is exactly how you would think Kraven the Hunter would be. It is a shame that it was the father that is more accurate to the comics than the character this movie is named after.
I need fighters, not coward. You won't even defend yourself. This is not about money. This is about power. Come here. I got you something. You never have to be afraid again.
This movie's Kraven is not the ruthless hunter many of us expected. His transformation into a vigilante who hunts criminals marks him as an anti-hero, but also a deviation from the unrelenting, self-serving nature of the character in the comics.
Nikolai Krafinov's son, Sergei, is the hunter?
The Hunter is a story, a fable to put fear into criminals.
Kraven had a list. Once you're on it, you never come off.
Kraven's decision to hunt criminals rather than animals implies an attempt to redeem himself and reject his father's violent path. He tries to carve out a new identity by standing up for what he believes is justice. This is a complete mistake. This is a character that you can never see become a villain, which means that unless the writers decide to write complete nonsense, Kraven would never fight Spider-Man. He would never be a villain to Spider-Man. This is a character that would more than likely be allies with Spider-Man. His portrayal of being an anti-hero is a problem because he is the opposite from the character everyone knows him as. Imagine if the Green Goblin decided to fight against corporate corruption and kill those that did white-collar crimes. he decides to protect the people of New York from corrupt CEOs and loan sharks. He is an anti-hero. While he has the name of Green Goblin, that is not the Green Goblin. That is what happens in this movie.
I got as far away from my father as I could. And now I do what I can to get rid of people like him.
Thankfully, while the main protagonist is Kraven the Hunter in name only, the film does give us Nikolai as the more authentic Kraven the Hunter. His single-minded pursuit of hunting, his belief in his superiority over others, and his cold, calculating nature make him a clearer reflection of the iconic character from the comics. His role as the instigator of the family's violent legacy and his actions throughout the story solidify him as the film's true embodiment of Kraven the Hunter.